Okay, hey everybody, Dr. Remka. I am trying something a little new. Let me see if it's working. I think I'm going live on two platforms at once. I'm not usually this sophisticated, but I'm trying to be efficient, and I'm going to keep working it out best I can. Maybe drop a little something, and let me make sure Facebook. So I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I have completely messed that whole beginning up because you're supposed to come in fast and do like a hook and get your attention. And I didn't do any of that. One of my coaches will be like, really, Rimka? That was so bad. Okay, I'm going to fail forward. I'm going to keep doing it. So I was on a business coaching Zoom last night with somebody I've taken many classes from, and I hadn't heard from him in a while. And it was the first time I was hearing him talk. And it was shocking because he was in a big group environment. And in his 20-minute segment of the whole meeting, I had so much illumination as to, oh, that's what I do? That's what it is. Okay, if that's what I'm doing, if that is the secret to my success in life, in school, in work, in business, in money, in relationships, social media, whatever, the stage, speaking, that's the secret to what I've been doing. And I actually haven't been teaching that to my people. I actually didn't teach that with these words, with this knowing to the thousands of business affiliates I've had, whether they're selling my courses, they're selling my products, they're selling, whatever. They're brick and mortar, they're doctors getting patients into the office and just trying to help them leverage a little extra $50,000 a month by moving some nootropics or some CBD or something like that. Because doctors need more money too, y'all. Everybody has bills, and the bills are just constantly going up. I'm not gonna lie, okay? So this is what I figured out last night. And it made me think of a story, and I wanted to share the story with you. And it comes down to this. Have you ever heard the phrase, don't compare your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 20? And I think it's important to keep reminding you of this because we are really prone to do it. As social media has taken off, as filters have become the new norm, as weird gluing on of eyelashes and things and inject people, I don't even know what's happening with most people's faces right now, okay? So there's so much pressure to push forward and reward fake and false and hyperbole and these personas that are not even real people at this point, I think. It's causing a lot of really wonderful people who have incredible gifts to share with the world to end up feeling bad about themselves and quit even trying to go after bettering themselves or going after their dreams. And that breaks my heart because they have special gifts to share. They were born for greatness. You were never born for mediocrity. That is not why any of us are here. And a lot of it just because there's this natural kind of comparing your chapter 1 or your chapter 2 with somebody else's chapter 10, 12, 20, 100. So you're starting and you look at maybe me now, but you didn't see 10 years ago when I started on social media. You didn't see my first Facebook Live. You didn't see my first 2 months of posts on Instagram. You just see where it is now. And you missed a lot of the journey. So you're starting and I intimidate you, or you don't see how you can be like that, or whatever. That might be some story some of you are telling. So because of this comparison of chapter 1 to chapter 20 that's going on, that's bad enough. But now, in this environment, with so much fake Photoshop, AI, and ghostwriting, you don't even really know if it's that person's real chapter 20 or if someone else faked it and they just ran it through ChatGPT. Okay, I want to remind you of that. A lot of fakery going on. A lot of shenanigans. A lot of that, oh, I just went to the gym. And they're injecting themselves with all kinds of stuff, lying to you. Lying to you. Okay? I want to tell a story, a real story, that came to my mind last night so deeply, brought me to tears actually, because I was so happy about the story, that I hope will help you, because I just figured out last night on a free business coaching Zoom, a part of my business, what is my secret to success. 51, and I'm only getting started. I know I'm going to be better at 56 than I am at 51, and at 62 than I am at, right? I'm getting better and better. I'm going to be at my prime at 70. Watch. Stick around for the next 19 years because it's going. But immediately this is the story that came to mind. Why this is what my brain connected, I don't really know. But here we go. Once upon a time, there was a little girl in 2nd grade. She was struggling to make sense of the weird characters on the pages in the books she was supposed to be able to read. And after spending the entire year working with her teacher and her mom and her tutor after school, she was really frustrated and sad that the decision was made by the adults to let her spend an extra year in 2nd grade. So her brain could have the time and the patience required to catch up with how hard it was to learn to read with dyslexia. Now, on the first day of her 2nd grade, she found herself alone in a sea of strangers. And these strangers were asking a lot of questions. Who is that? Because after all, the 2nd graders were just with all the 1st graders, and this was a new face. It quickly spread like wildfire that she failed. Upon seeing, she looked overwhelmed and didn't know where she should sit at lunch when standing in that lunch line. Another little girl walked up to her and said, "Hey, you want to come sit with us?" And the rest is a little bit of history about how 2 little girls became very best friends for many years. Now, these 2 little girls went on to dominate the room in many ways. They were funny, they were charismatic, they were quite opposite and yet just alike. They went on to dominate all the sports teams, winning all the time, and were the only girls to always play football, baseball, and soccer with all the boys at recess. Now, while one struggled and worked really hard to get a 70% on a weekly spelling test, and the other won every school and city and county and state spelling bee without ever even studying, they were like a little 2 peas in the pod, alike and opposite. That girl with dyslexia, I'll cry thinking about her, was my best friend, Christine. And she taught me more about courage than most people will really ever know. I don't think the kids in the class ever understood how much I thought she was the real rock star between the 2 of us, despite my grades, my winning contests, my spelling bees, right? That my accomplishments were like getting more attention. Because what not many people got, because they didn't get to see at times, was how cowardly to do what I wanted to do for fear of failure I actually was sometimes. But Christine, she seemed to give 0 F's, right? She didn't seem to care much what people thought of her anymore. After all, she was already the dyslexic kid who couldn't read and failed 2nd grade, right? And had to study and barely could pass a spelling test every week. I don't know. But here's where I learned, watching her struggles, her failures, her obstacles. Some of the conversations I had with her mother at their kitchen table created tremendous resilience in Christine. And I saw it. And I respected it. And I respected the shit out of her for it. That girl worked. She never gave up. And it was hard. In fact, this is the story that came to me. I remember the moment I was most proud to be her best friend. And it was also one of the times I was most ashamed of myself. It was 8th grade, I think, maybe 6th, I don't know, something like that. And it was time to audition for the school play. And we were all into the plays, and Popular Kids did all the stuff, and we did everything. We were just doing all the things back then. So when it was my time to audition, I thought for sure I'd get the lead. After all, I was popular, I was a good public speaker, I was one of the best forensics competitors the school ever had. I could do this thing. I was funny, I was class clown. But Christine wanted it too, so we're going to see who we're going to win this thing, right? It's some friendly competition. We were good. So when the music teacher called us up, they had to go one by one, and it was my turn. In that moment, it was the first time that I'd been called to go up and sing by myself with a piano accompanist, right? I realized I was way too terrified to sing a solo in front of anyone. I had done group, I had done like choruses and stuff, but this was going to be a musical, and I suddenly was overwhelmed with fear. Now, did I tell anybody? Did I say I was scared? Did anybody see me shake? Did anybody see me cry? Nope. Not gonna happen. I was a little too cool for school. That wasn't about to be seen. So I really don't know what I said, but I know I did like some pretending, like I didn't give a shit and I didn't want to do it. Like, nah, I don't know what I did, but I tried to make the whole thing seem like I don't even want to do this. I'm not doing this, blah, blah, blah. And it did something dumb, maybe got myself in trouble. I have no idea. I was like a panicked duck, looking calm on the top, and my legs were freaking out underneath me. My little, are they going to see it? Are they going to see me afraid? I wasn't ready for that. I didn't have the capacity for that. I watched Christine then go up there. She walked up there, and she belted out that song with zero stress. And I remember just being like, damn, you get it. I wanted to and even though I was trying to become invisible in my own shame of my weakness, of my fear of that, of being bad at it and made fun of, laughed at, failing, I had no room in my system that I couldn't be good at something. It wasn't allowed, so I was afraid to try. I couldn't even get caught in that because I was in such awe of her. And I was like, how did this girl do that? Who I've watched cry over her spelling test, who I've watched throw her tests in the thing and get angry because she would study so hard and fail again because she couldn't read. It was just hard, right? She wasn't dumb. She was real smart. She just couldn't make those letters line up the way my brain can make them line up. And I was like, the contrast for me was so extraordinary. And I don't think I told her at the time. I was scared. That's why I didn't do it. So I had to keep my ego in check, my reputation in check, and all that stuff. But to this day, I think, damn, that girl's a tough girl. And people might have thought I was a tougher one. I probably came off the tougher one. But there's a lot of strength in people that have this quiet strength sometimes you don't understand. So I say all this to say, people see me on stages, they see me public speak. I can drop that mic. I'm good at it. I studied and I practiced and I trained. So I am good. I worked for it. But they'll compare that and not understand that there have been times I have choked. I was afraid. I didn't do it. But here's what why I'm trying to tell you this. Because I just realized what the key to my success was. And it's because I used moments like that where I felt so bad about myself, but I did have somebody to look at to inspire me. And I was like, oh, what is that, right? And I use it to fuel my own discipline, to build up my skill set, to build up my confidence, to build up my swagger by working on my identity. And because I worked on this, what the term is that it's called, and I didn't understand this until last night. I went, oh, that's what it is. Many call this my posture. I didn't know that's what this was, really, that I'm like, it's my posture. I'm postured. This is why I am so good at enrolling people in the possibility of choosing themselves, or choosing my product, or choosing my course, or choosing my services, or choosing my whatever. It's because of posture. Here's what posture is, and this is what Christine Coffey displayed when she got up and could sing and belt that out. Posture is not caring what people think about you. Posture is, I don't need you to accept or agree with me. I don't need it. I don't require your approval, your acceptance on anything I'm doing. And a person with a strong posture just stops requiring anybody's support to go after their dreams and their desires. And I realized that's what I've built myself into, a person with strong posture. And when I'm teaching my business builders and my affiliates and my coaches, like, how to do this, I wasn't saying it that clearly because I didn't know it that clearly. And when I heard about strong posture, I thought of Christine Coffey and how she stood up and how I could not stand up. And how now, every time I talk, every time I get on a stage, I'm nervous, I'm shaking, I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to do it. I'm backstage going, I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. Yep, and this is a really bad idea. I'm regretting this decision right now. God, why do I keep doing this to myself? I hate this feeling. And go. Music cue. Okay, boom. And then the music, and I walk, and then I talk, and I love it. And maybe an hour after that, yeah, you want to do it next year? Yeah, let's do it. And then a few hours later, I'm like, why did I agree to do that? I'm not sure why I did that again. Right? So I want you to know I do that still, and I really love it, and I'm still scared. I say all this to say all business, all success, if you don't want to do this, it's really 80% mindset at a bare minimum, not skill set. The only reason you're working on a skill set is so you can build your posture. And here's what I want to say about that is Christine showed me. She had posture in one area and didn't have it in another. We all go through this, right? We can have posture here, but not posture here. I can have posture with my sexuality. I can have posture with my looks. I can have posture with my beauty. I can have posture with my intelligence. I can have posture with my athleticism. But as you get older, you start stacking all the versions of yourself on. And it's, listen, I just got posture because I got posture. I don't need you for anything. Let me be real clear. Every conversation, every interaction, you are applying for my attention. I am the gift. Are we clear? You're not doing me a favor. I am the favor. So that's an exaggeration, but that's posture. You know what I mean? So I'm never bothering somebody when I say, hey, I have this great product. I have a great opportunity. I got to, I don't need you to buy it. I don't need you to care. I'm trying to help you. You don't want me to help you? I will help somebody else. You know what I mean? And it's why when you come to my office, it's an application for services. You are applying. I'll tell you if I accept you or not. And I reject at least 60% of the people who apply for my services. No, thank you. Don't want to work with you. You're like, damn. Because I don't have desperation, neediness. I don't need your approval. I don't need it. That's the kind of place we need to get to any success. right? I don't even care if it's your love life. So I have missed that in some of my leadership training. So that's my next big learning as a leader. And I'm super excited to focus on this. And I'm just telling you this because, again, I'd say this because you're probably, maybe many of you are comparing your chapter 1 or 2 with somebody else's 10, 15, or 20, or chapter 100. You're looking at Gary Vee and Tony Robbins. I'm like, they're on chapter 3,000. Okay? Like, just start your damn book. Start writing your story. Start focusing on you are the main character and you are writing it and everybody else is an accessory. They are privileged to be in your story. Start writing the shit out of your story. And anybody that comes into your story, you are doing them the favor. You are the gift. So I have to figure out how to teach posture better to my people. And I'm super excited about that. This is part of some of the concept of I like to live in blissful dissatisfaction. I like to really enjoy the now. I like to really enjoy the wins. I like to really be like, yeah, you got better, you got better. But I'm always dissatisfied. That's why I'm always going and growing. I'm just going to do that because I find it fun. So if that helped you, if any of you sometimes are maybe comparing yourself to me or somebody else, you need to remember I've had many chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, and some of them were ugly. They weren't good. I'm going to always come out smelling like a rose. I just tried to learn from them, and I reflect upon them, and I'm like, yeah. So if that helps, learn more about posture, and if you want to improve your posture, I'm committed to learning to translate and teach that a lot better for people, in particular in some of my business. So if you're interested in any of that, let me know. But ultimately, it's just hopefully a gift for you, and I hope somebody maybe learned something, and maybe something it feels lighter in your heart, because I just want everybody to share their gifts, share their magic, because you're holding something here that I don't have. And if I can help you grow and nurture that so you know how to share it with the world, I would love to be a part of that. But if this was enough to help you go out there and share your gifts, I'm grateful as well. Have a fantastic night, Instagram and Facebook. It was a simultaneous thing. I hope it was okay.